Right, so we are here today to do some bolt action. So we haven't done this for a while, so it's been great getting all the terrain out, and I'm being challenged by one of the local gamers, Shaun. So what are you bringing today, Shaun?
I am bringing British.
There we are. That's all you need to know. He's bringing the British. So basically we are going to be, well, I suppose somewhere in...
Normandy.
No, you dingbat. You're trying to kill the Italians. So
the
Mediterranean. Let's go with Crete.
Yes, we're in Crete.
We're in Crete. So it's a very green Crete. So it's obviously early part of the year. So the Italians, which will be me, are going to be effectively defending. Shaun is going to be playing the envelopment scenario. Fortunately for me, we had to roll off as to who the attacker and defender was, and I got got a nice 6. So being Italian, I chose to defend. Before anyone comments, defend does not mean retreat. So we're basically going to defend. I've rolled 2 in placement, so obviously we are defending the area. We've managed to build a couple of brick walls and a sort of redoubt, and the British are going to try and sort of prep bombard us and try and get us. So what they're going to do is Brits need to get their bodies off the table edge, my deployment edge, or equally get their guys into my deployment zone. They will get 1 point for every unit they destroy of mine. They will get 2 for getting a unit into the deployment zone at the end of the game, and 3 for getting 1 off the edge of the board. So let's see if Shaun remembers any of that. Okay.
Not.
So from my point of view, being Italians and defending, all I've got to do is kill Shaun.
Simple.
Yeah, 2 points per unit. Alright, so we're playing 1250, maximum 2 platoons, which is our standard tournament level at Black Dragon, and we will show you the action as it unfolds in this 1250 battle report of Bolt Action version 2. So see you at the end for the debrief and the tears.
Thank you very much. Let's begin.
See ya. So here we have our homestead in Crete, farmhouse. It's been there a long time, and the Italians have set up a defensive corridor. The British have brought in their prep bombardment, and the only casualty, giving the Brits a 1-0 lead, is the tractor, so I've got away with it really to a degree. The M13 managed to avoid on a 1-1. The mortar got hit by a pin. The MMG team and the squad both took pins, but the MMG team actually took a casualty as well. The squad to the right, they took pins. The auto blinder took a pin. The anti-tank rifle in the wood there took pins. The sniper in the farmhouse took a pin. Air observer took pins, and the Braider auto cannon and its took pins and a casualty. So 2 Italian crewmen dead and a tractor for the British bombardment. And remember, in this one the Brits need to get off my table edge. So we will start pulling dice and start turn 1. Okay, so the British truck has come on and is making its way down the side of the farm, unbeknown, and just sat behind the bocage is the Italian number 1 M13. So he's going to open fire with its light anti-tank gun. So it's going to need a 4 because of range, and gets it on a 6. It is plus 2 pen. So let's and a 5 takes it to a 7, so that will penetrate. Okay. And a 4 destroys the truck. Okay, so the truck is destroyed. Okay, so with the truck destroyed, the squad dismount. 1 guy gets whacked as he gets out the truck, and they've now dismounted and gone down. Okay, so first real casualty of the war. Okay, so end of turn 1, not huge amount to report. The British have advanced onto the board, all with the exception of the howitzer. As the Italian minefields were there, no run orders could be issued to bring them on. The Cromwell came on and fired off a shot at the Braider, Failed to do any damage for its HE. Other than that, pretty much it. The Italians, again, failed a couple of rally checks, so units went down. Other than that, everything else sort of shrugged its pins. Just the armoured car and the machine gun crew failed to do that. The Italian sniper in the farmhouse itself managed to completely miss the British sniper just there from his position in the window, and that was pretty much it. So turn 2, a little bit more action. Obviously Italian reinforcements will be coming in. The British howitzer will be making its way onto the board, and hopefully a bit more action for you. So turn 2. Okay, first dice out of the bag is the Italian, and the M13, which previously killed their transport, is now targeting the British squad. Shaun has decided not to go down, so the M13 with its two forward-facing machine guns, MMGs, and its coaxial is going to hit it with 15 dice. So just the -1 for range. So we're looking at 4s. It'll be 4s to kill because the squad is regular. And okay, so we've not done particularly well there. That's way below average. In fact, only 4 hits, so that's pretty bad. So let's see if we can actually kill some. Looking for 4s, and we killed 2. So it's 2 dead and a pin, please. The Italian sniper has finally managed to find his zeroed in scope and has taken out the British sniper. Okay, so that is another dice out for Shaun. Okay, at the end of turn 2, not actually a lot happened really from the point of view of damage. Obviously the sniper took out the British sniper. The unit down here did a rally. The commander moved through the woodland. The mortar moved to basically mean my zeroing in went out the window. This squad here, can't remember what they actually did. Oh yeah, they got shot in the vehicle, didn't they? So they bailed out. The howitzer came on ready to fire in turn 3. The squad in the vehicle basically failed to get out on the order check. The tank moved up, got shot from the anti-tank rifle, but the anti-tank rifle failed to hit its mark, and then it opened up on the unit in the woods here, the Italian regulars. Fired coaxial and hull mounted MMG. Did hit twice but failed to kill, so just the 1 pin. Machine gun and a squad moved up for the Italians. Both commanders failed to come on, as well as the other M13. So we've got a squad now appeared on the right of the Breda. Obviously we've already spoken about the anti-tank rifle. The air observer did bring in an airstrike, so we're going to be testing for that in a sec onto the Cromwell. The squad at the back of the cornfield have moved up to the edge of the farm. A couple of units here managed to shift their pins finally. The squad here are the ones that took the tank out. Mortar now doesn't have a target anymore. And we've got another squad here, regular troops that have come on to protect the Italian left flank. So we've got both Italian commanders sat eating their pasta, and an M13 that's having an oil change. Okay, so turn 3, and we'll see if the airstrike comes in. So let's roll up and see what happens. And we get a 4. Okay, so the airstrike did come in. It has managed to force the MMG team down and kill one of the crew. Unfortunately, didn't do enough damage to the Cromwell, so it's just a couple of pins. So that was, the Italians were sort of hoping that something may happen there, but that's the airstrike. So we're into turn 3, first dice out the bag. Okay, so the MMG team is going to fire down there at the Brits, who are going to try and hold. So we're 4s and 4s, long range and regular. 3 successful hits. And no wounds, so just a pin. Okay, so the British unit that's just been opened up on by the MMG, they decided to try and move towards cover. Unfortunately, they foobarred and legged it backwards, so they are pretty much back on the board and go down. So that's halfway through the game and they are touching the board edge. The anti-tank rifle has just taken out the truck that came around the side of the farmhouse. The squad have bailed out, one guy again getting caught in the fire, and the truck has now gone, which is quite important because what that has now done for the game has put the dice score on 4-1 in favour of the Italians. So with that in mind, their special rule kicks in, which is Avanti Savoy, or Savoy. So I am now at +2 morale on all of the Italians as we are winning the battle. So the M13 is at it again, and after its favourite target, of which, as you can see, just the one NCO remains standing after all of his comrades have been shot to smithereens by the 15 machine gun shots from the M13. He decided not to go down, which obviously in this scenario possibly the right thing to do. Just very good dice rolling by the Italians, by virtue of the fact that he's got to get across the board. Okay, so the last M13's finally come on. It's gone ploughing down the road and has lit up the veteran squad behind the bocage and taken out 3 of the British veterans. So, end of turn 3, going into turn 4, and the state of the battle. The Italian infantry on the left flank have moved up, has pretty much cleared out the British right flank. There's only the one guy left, and the NCO trying to hold off the Italians on the right. The flamethrower team that was there cut inside into the courtyard of the farm, only to get lit up by the Italian infantry hiding behind the farm and the LMG from here. So another dice out. Current score is 5-1 in dice, so score on the board: Italians 10, Britain 1. What else happened? The Piat crew have moved around in support, trying to get over towards the M13, which had gone up and rinsed the veteran unit. Unfortunately, the MMG team had gone down due to the airstrike that had come in, and the Cromwell failed its order check and retreated backwards. Mortar has put a trying to zero in on this unit here, and the howitzer doing the same over here on the Breda. And that was it really, I think. So end of turn 3, turn 4, and Shaun will be pulling the dice. Oh, by the way, the Italians have still got one commander eating pasta, for those that are worried about the Italians and their diets. Okay. So at the end of turn 4, not a great turn for the Brits. Quite a lot died. Only real success was the Piat team moved to the edge of the tree line here and put a Piat up the M13's ass and took that out with a cracking shot. The veterans have moved down here, but unfortunately in doing so left themselves open to the Italian regular force that came out from the sort of hillside there. Managed to take another one out. Over here the unit did rally, however another couple of casualties later and they're back to pretty much where they were again. The sniper took out the MMG team, and the Cromwell has rallied, so that's pretty much back in. The Italians can't really do much about that now. Just got too much armour for what I've got penetration wise. Over this side, the regular infantry charged the last remaining NCO of the right flank and took him out. The commander has retreated back to try and get his squad back in the game. The mortar success, though, did take out the Italian MMG team that was behind the fortification. Other than that, Italian-wise, we've got the tank moving into the farmyard. The armoured cars moved up to put some pressure over there. Or even the anti-tank rifle decided it was going to take one of the British out and cut him in half. And for those that are worried about how much my Italian second lieutenant is eating, he has finally made it onto the board. Ready for turn 5, believe it or not. Right, okay, so turn 5, scores on the board are British with 3, and the Italians are on, let's have a think, 18, so 18-3 currently. Okay, so we're at the end of turn 5, going into turn 6 and technically rolling for turn 7, so we're going to call it there. Cromwell did manage to take the armoured car out. Basically the armoured car moved up, killed one of the vets, and subsequently also killed 4 of the guys from the rear gun. That allowed the infantry to assault the last remaining veteran and wipe him out, although he did take one of them down. Other than that, the sniper took out the British NCO behind or over in the backfield there, and that was pretty much it. Other than that, the Italians were pushing the Brits out. The only last thing really remaining was the Cromwell. Again, from the Italian perspective, couldn't fundamentally do anything against that other than just trying to keep it pinned. The M13s just can't breach its armour unless they get round the back and go like full fury. So overall, Italian victory. I think the final score was 24 points to 4. And technically the Italians were defending, but if we look, due to the old Ivanti rule, they've charged forward, pushing the Brits back to the coastline. So there we have it, bolt action 2, and Italians win that one today.